trading didn't really start making sense until 2016, 2017.
He opened his first trade in 2008.
At some point, I gave up on trading. Trading income is risk income. What I say to the people who want to open a trade today and make money tomorrow and buy a Lamborghini next tomorrow, is it possible? Yes. Will you likely do it? No. My trading started to improve when I didn't need to rely on my trading profits for sustenance.
The truth is, if you want to become rich and wealthy, it goes beyond knowing how to trade the Forex market. You need to know how to trade your finances. What's going on, guys? It's Sam Keys here again, and I'm super excited to be on another episode of the 1% Club podcast with Sam Keys happening here on YouTube. And today I have a special personality. Guys, if you've heard of Ejimi, the profitable investor, then you're seeing him on this podcast. Before we get on to hear from him, if you're new to this channel and you want to get connected to all the updates on the interviews that I have with the 1% traders that we have in the industry, subscribe now, like this video, and comment below your name and where you're watching from. Also pay close attention to every information that you hear from him on this podcast, because I'm going to be asking a question at the later end of this video, and if you get it right and you get the right comment, you stand a chance to win up to $100 on this particular video. So, good to have you on the podcast today, sir.
It's good to have you here. Please,
A handshake.
Thank you, Sam.
Let's hear from him. Please tell us your name, your country, where in your country you're from, and let's just get to know you.
Okay, so my name is Ejimi Adegweye, actually Olufukeji Ejimi Adegweye, but friends, my community knows me as Ejimi, the profitable investor. I live in Nigeria. I work out of Abuja, and I also have a trading floor and a trading academy in Kaduna. I'm married to my lovely wife, Sweetness Cakes Art, and I have a 10-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. And I'm passionate about my faith, I'm passionate about finance, and I'm passionate about family. That's pretty much who I am.
So, where in Nigeria do you originate from?
Okay, I hail from Ogun State. I'm a Yoruba man by birth, but I've lived in the northern part of Nigeria, the southern part of Nigeria, and right now I live in Abuja.
That is great. So, tell us, how long, this is the big question, right? Everybody's expecting it from this podcast. How long have you been trading Forex? When was the first time you learned what is Forex? Or the first time you opened the chart?
Okay, the first time I was introduced to the world of financial markets, I was in penultimate year in university, and I was introduced to a group of stockbrokers and financial markets traders who showed me what is possible using the financial markets. I was in my penultimate year 300 level, and then I had a seminar, Success Summit, back then in the university in Zaria, and I flew some stockbrokers over. We had a seminar on the Nigerian stock markets, Forex markets, and that was my first introduction. However, a year or two later, I think it was 2008, if I remember correctly, during my service year, that was the first time I opened my first trade. I remember the name of the broker. It was North Finance, which was later bought over by
Forex, through FX.
So it was Euro Orient Security, North Finance. Then it became FX Pro. That was the first time I took it.
That was 2008
or 2007. I don't remember well.
We are in 2024, guys. So you do the numbers. Tell me in the comments, how many years from 2008 to now, how many years has it been trading? Let's see it in the comments, guys. So the next thing I would like to ask is, at what point, because trust me, the year you open your first trade is definitely not the year you start clicking for you, right? Usually that year would be the year you start paying your school fees to the market.
Definitely.
Right. So at what point did you figure it all out? And okay, this is that point where I have figured what trading is. Okay. And this is where my consistency in profits, even if I take little losses, I make more profits. At what point, what particular year did you get to that?
That's a very interesting story, because when I got introduced to trading, some of you may know this Surefire Trading Challenge and by Mark something. And that was the system I started with, trading Euro USD.
Okay.
It doesn't use a stop loss. And at that time, the average range for EURUSD was about 200 to 400 pips, no matter what. It was going, I mean, over a period of time. Okay. The way he did it is that price can never go against you 400 pips. And it worked for a while. I was making a lot of money as a copper back then. And then one day, I remember that day very well. I think I went to the bank, GT Bank, and they had all these TVs, and there was news that came out, and I saw on the news something happened to the dollar, and I knew my account was gone.
Wow.
And I go back and I realized the account was gone.
Wow.
But that's when I realized I truly didn't know how to trade, and I started the journey of learning afresh. Now, like you said, it wasn't easy. That time, there was no social media available like that. There were no mobile phones. So finding a mentor was very hard. I remember going to Forex Factory, you'd be looking for stories and threads and downloading stuff, buying a lot of indicators and all of that. So that journey continued on and off. And then I got into trouble because I used other people's money and I spent 2 years paying back. So my journey was very funny. At some point, I said, okay, you know what? To figure this thing out, let me go and work in a bank and trade for a bank. And I got the privilege of joining the trading team of the second largest investment bank in Nigeria at that time. But they were not trading Forex. They were trading local equities.
Wow.
Of course, we're looking at global markets and treasuries and all of that, bonds, but it was not pure currency. But I learned a lot about structure, how professional trading is done. And then after a while, I quit, and then I continued the journey to perfect my trading. All in all, trading didn't really start making sense until 2016, 2017. Gradually, I started to understand the core concepts of trading. So yeah, it's been a long journey.
Guys, listen, I had something. He said trading didn't begin to make sense until 2016, 2017.
Yes.
He opened his first trade in 2008.
Yes. So 10 years, a decade.
2016 is 8 years.
Yes.
2017 is
9 years.
9 years. If you give that 2018,
that's a decade.
So what's the problem with a lot of traders who want to learn this today and 1 month later they want to buy Lamborghini?
I think it's the way the trading industry was communicated to them. So when I joined trading, there was no Instagram. So in Nigeria, so I wasn't seeing the lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
I was trained by individuals who would send you conferences to follow, PDFs on LinkedIn. I joined quant trading group on LinkedIn, algorithmic trading group on LinkedIn. I was talking to bankers. So it was very cerebral. So it was like accounting or economics, doing ICANN. So that's the approach I was giving. So I realized this is a profession. So I realized I need to pay my dues. I remember I became a chartered wealth manager in 2010, the American Academy of Financial Management. I became a fellow. I started studying the entire industry. Now, this didn't improve my trading skill, but it made me know this is a profession.
Absolutely.
So I was ready to pay my dues to learn. But of course, over time, a lot of knowledge became more available. And over time, I gradually started to understand what I was doing. So what I say to the people who want to open a trade today and make money tomorrow and buy a Lamborghini next tomorrow, is it possible? Yes. Will you likely do it? No. If you have 10,000 people, only 1 or 2 will follow that route. The rest of us will have to show up every day, go through the pain.
Guys, you heard that, right? So you are definitely doing it at your own pace. Everybody's pace in this industry is very different. Because somebody did it in 2 months doesn't mean it's going to happen for you in 2 months. You got to discover what works for you, and then you stick with it. So we are in Mauritius, and it's been quite a beautiful experience, bro. So can you tell us a little about working or partnering with a broker, derive or partnership with brokers, and how it can contribute to the success of traders over time?
Fantastic. Okay, so what I noticed with me on my own journey is that my trading started to improve when I didn't need to rely on my trading profits for sustenance. Trading can be tough when you're trying to trade and earn a living from your trading profits. So I tell people you may need to learn a secondary skill. You may need to learn another skill set that can put food on your table while trying to master trading. At some point, I gave up on trading and I got a job because I told myself, guy, trading is like boxing. You enter the ring, sometimes they box you, and then they now give you time out, then you rest. Sometimes that rest is you getting a job. Wow. That rest is you learning a skill. So you don't put trading aside, but you are learning the skill while using something else to earn a living. So for me, at some point I said, okay, let me start mentoring and let me start teaching based on the things that I had learned, the little success I had gotten. And so I started selling courses, and from there I started having income. So there will be days when if there's no setup, I'm not trying to squeeze the markets, I'll force the markets to do something. These extra streams of income started to stabilizing my trading psychology. This was my experience. And I noticed it for people. I had people that were struggling, and then maybe when they got a high-paying job, all of a sudden they were like, okay, this trading thing is easy. Why? Because now they have an income coming from somewhere, and they are learning how to trade. So you may need to find something else. And that's where maybe sometimes the broker comes in. Okay, you partner with a broker. Maybe you want to do a sponsored event. The broker is willing to help you out with seminars. The broker is willing to help you out with opportunities. This is something that can stabilize your income pending when you master trading. And so when people say, oh, if trading is so profitable, why are you selling courses? If trading is so profitable, why are you doing other things? That's because trading income is risk income. You can start the week with X amount and end the week on a loss.
Yeah.
But if you have other streams of income, they help to cushion the effect and stabilize your trading psychology.
Guys,
This was my journey.
please take note of this. He said trading income is risk income. If you didn't get anything, hold this very closely. If you're following, put in the comments, trading income is risk income. Now, that is actually a whole thing entirely, understanding that for you to become successful and also have a better psychology in trading, you need to have other sources of income.
It makes the journey easier, right? But the first 10 years when I didn't have that, my progress was painful. I was making progress, but it was painful. It was painful.
I can imagine having to pay some bills and you're looking at the chart and the chart is staring at you. The chart is telling you, hey, there's an opportunity. Bring that opportunity, definitely, right? Because you're just staring at it. And when you have bills to pay in trading and you have, let's say, $2,000, you want to pay a bill of, let's say, $1,500, right? You have $2,000, you're funded into the market. You're at a point where you cannot afford to lose any money in that $2,000. So you're most likely going to be trying, like, if the market, at the moment you come to the charts, you don't see opportunity. And another thing I figured out is when you're at that particular point, you will find yourself spending more time on the charts that you ought to do.
The setup that was not there.
Absolutely. Like, this thing you're supposed to buy. You're supposed to buy. You're supposed to buy. So it's important for you, for those of you coming into this industry, right? We're going to get more advice from him for beginners. It's important for you to have alternative source of income. If you don't have alternative source of income, like as a profession from any other field, and you want to get into trading full time, then you may want to consider the brokerage, right? Being a partner with a broker, or you want to consider selling courses or something like that, that is selling your knowledge. This is a roadmap. It's a proven formula that has helped a lot of traders become successful, right? It is a roadmap. So all you need to do is just follow that track. Now, I want to really know your best advice for the beginners out there who want to get into the industry. Now you have close to 16 years experience with the market, 16 to 17 years with the market. Now, somebody that has been here for 16 years, guys, listen, and you're about to start now. What is your best advice to that person?
All right. So number one, realize that trading is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's going to take some time to build the skill sets. Number two, look for individuals who, beyond lifestyle marketing, beyond hype, what they're saying makes sense. And you've seen that consistency, and find every way to engage them. Number three, ensure that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Don't trade with investors' funds. If you must trade with investors' funds, let them know the risks that are involved. Number four, understand that the markets will always be there. I remember after trading for some time, I had been trading from my home office, and I said, okay, it's time for me to set up a trading team and set up a trading floor. That's when I set up my own trading team, a 6-man trading team, my own trading floor. For those of you who follow Valley Flow Trading, at Valley Flow Trading on Instagram, you can see my teammates, you can see the guys that I lead and all of that, because trading is a business. So you must treat it as a business. I tell my guys on the floor, I remember the first time one of the guys on our floor made quite an amount of money, and he wanted to go and buy a Benz.
And I told him immediately that don't buy a bank. So you don't spend your trading profits immediately. It's what you call a financial year. So we pay ourselves a salary, we live off of that salary, and the excess gets saved. After one financial year, we close our books and we know we've made money for a year. Then you can take the trip abroad. Then you can buy the new car. Then you can upgrade your lifestyle because you made money in January, in February, in March, you upgraded your lifestyle, and then in November, you lost everything. Oh, and now you've upgraded your lifestyle. So that you're a trader doesn't mean you put aside principles of wealth management. I'm a chartered wealth manager, so you follow these principles. Trading is just an accelerator. So when you start making progress, don't upgrade your lifestyle, especially when it's not bringing in money for you.
Absolutely.
Right? So what you should do is be conservative. Do that thing for a year, 2 years, 3 years. See how the markets work in inflationary cycles. See how the markets work in growth cycles. See how the market works in geopolitical tension when correlations break. This year, for example, gold has been moving one direction, upward, because of the Bank of International Settlement allowing central banks to include gold in their reserves and geopolitical risk. For the first time in a very long time, gold was going up, USD/JPY2 was going up. See enough. Have you traded during an election year? How do markets behave when there's US elections? So see it long enough before you can come out and say, oh, this always happens, Smoke. This will give you the longevity and the discipline to stay standing.
Oh, guys, even myself seated here, I'm feeling the heat.
So you guys heard, right? There's something we call finance education and financial literacy. There's one thing, learning how to trade, know how to follow those pips and know how to read the candles and all that. The truth is, if you want to become rich and wealthy, it goes beyond knowing how to trade the Forex market. You need to know how to trade your finances.
Sure. You need to understand savings, you need to understand earning, you need to understand budgeting, you need to understand having a mind of your own, you need to understand diversification. You need to understand collaborations.
And that takes me to the next thing, guys. He has said a lot. I'm going to have an episode again so he can talk about something else because, guys, you need to learn this. You can see he's like somebody in the finance. Like myself, I'm a computer engineer and I'm doing trading. I want to do more about digital marketing and also a little about business and all of it. He's into finance, so you can hear he has traded for banks. So you can hear what he's saying is making a lot of sense. There's a topic, collaboration and competition in the Forex industry. What is your contribution towards this? What's your opinion? Do you think traders, I was in a podcast with somebody and the person say all those traders who are doing competition, they've not made money from trading. That those who have made money from trading, you will see them collaborating a whole lot. So what is your best advice? Because I know there's a lot of beginners here that soon they will start getting some, in Nigeria terms, you start picking, right? So they'll start getting some funds and they'll feel like they've arrived. Now, how do you deal with collaboration versus competition?
Okay, for someone like me, the first thing I try to do is I don't live to prove a point.
Okay.
I know why I'm doing what I'm doing and I know what I want out of it. Of course, some of these things have to do with your age and your stage. So you're young, you want to prove a point. You want to prove when you grow older, you have a family, you just want to take care of your loved ones and give them a fantastic experience. So that's the first thing. Know your core values. Why are you doing what you are doing? Like, I don't care if I'm the richest trader in Nigeria. It makes no sense. I just want to be able to pay my bills and leave a legacy for those who matter most to me. So that's the first thing. Now, if you're the kind of person that you want to be in a competition, it energizes you, that's fine. But understand one thing, you can't be in the limelight forever. There will be others after you. I'm in peace with that. So the first thing I would say to you is be very good at what you do. Instead of focusing on what the other person is doing, build your own competence. Number 2, build your community. Create a community of like-minded people that you share values and beliefs with. Number 3, understand that at some level you must collaborate. I'm a person of faith. Scripture says 1 will chase 1,000, 2 to 10,000 to flight. So in the midst of your competition, have the people you collaborate with. Have your circle that you're not in competition with each other. Of course, you can inspire one another. You've inspired me on this trip. Yes, sir. I saw you as a drone pilot doing stuff. I saw you editing your videos. I saw your YouTube. And I've been inspired.
Yes.
So you can be inspired, but don't compete. I'm not you, and you can't be me. So what I do is I learn from you, and then where you're obviously better, I salute you. If you didn't dare, he didn't dare. As long as I'm paying my bills, I'm leaving a legacy, I'm fine. And absolutely. So I think you should have that mindset and that perspective. But understand this, nothing great is built without a team. So from your competence and your community, identify your circle and grow with your circle. Now, of course, if someone comes for you, if someone comes to get you to take what is yours, this is business. You man up your ruthless. But once you've gotten back what is yours, your opinion, as long as it doesn't affect my income, is fine. You believe I'm broke, you're correct. Because compared to Dangote, I'm broke. If you believe I'm rich, you're also correct. Because compared to someone else, I'm rich.
Guys, it's been an amazing time on today's episode on the 1% Club podcast with Sam Keys. So guys, if you got value from this particular episode, put on the comments your best takeaway. And don't forget to like, tell us your name, your country. I'm going to go through the comments and one lucky winner goes home with $100 cash. Let's say a proper thank you to our guests. Thank you so much for being here. So yeah, see you guys next time. Always remember, if you know where you're going to and you're on the right track, keep going. Soon you're going to get there. Keep showing up until your dreams come true. My name is Sam Keys and I'm always here to help. See you on my next episode. Bye for now.